Very welcome along to Off the Wall. This is Off the Ball's Game of Thrones podcast, brought to you with thanks to Discover Northern Ireland, with their Game of Thrones territory boasting over 25 locations and experiences for the ultimate fan. For more, log on to discovernorthernireland.com. And yes, this is our second episode of the week. Andy Lee, how are you?
Bonus episode
Because he's back.
Here we go.
Yeah, glad to be back. Happy I was away because after watching the episode in Sicily, I just didn't know how to feel. I was actually glad I didn't have to be here to review it or talk about
it. This is tough to take.
Harsh.
This is harsh to take.
I don't know.
You were disappointed.
Disappointed.
In us or in
disenfranchised?
Dave and Dan?
Not in you guys, no way. In Dave and Dan, and how the show's gone. I have some sympathy for them because they have to wrap up this story in some ways, but it's just so badly written and just. My main script was how to do my girl Daenerys. I was never a big fan of hers or pushing her or feeling like she was the one who the rightful heir or the one to win it all. But they're just treating her so bad. Just her the treatment and the way she's being, I don't know, forced by the script, by how it's written.
Forced to what?
None of these things really they don't really, there's hate between her and Sansa, yeah? Where is that? Why is that?
There's tension.
Well, no.
There's tension.
No, she doesn't trust her. She said that we don't trust Daenerys. Why doesn't she trust Daenerys? Daenerys has come across the sea. They laid her assault on the Seven Kingdoms. They helped the Starks, helped the North, sacrificed half her army, sacrificed her best friend, Jorah, and put her whole career on hold to help these guys. And they don't trust her. What reason did he have? It just doesn't make sense. It's not, she hasn't done anything out of the way to those guys to show them that they don't trust her.
She has, however, in the last episode.
Theon, attack Winterfell, apparently was for a long time suspected of killing the two brothers.
And they trust him again.
Open arms. Sansa's crying over his corpse. Jaime has fought against the Starks, against their brother Robb, has done terrible things to their family, didn't uphold his... In the end, he upheld his oath, but he didn't uphold his oath to their mother, Catelyn Stark. Oh, he's
he didn't around about way. Yeah.
And this... Daenerys has come here, of her own free will, because of her brother, their brother, Jon, and she's given them everything she could, and saved all their lives. There's been I just don't see where it's founded.
Yeah.
It's just bad writing on the show's part.
I'm kind of on the same path as you because I can't hate Daenerys. I just feel sad for her. I feel like everyone's just backstabbing her, and she seems like such a sorrowful character.
She's going mad. She's losing her mind, a mad queen. She's sad. She lost her best friend. He died sacrificing.
She lost her only ally. I made the point last week.
The only guy who she listened to, because...
Well, the only guy who really, truly backed her up no matter what. That scene last week, the infamous Starbucks scene, where Daenerys is watching on as Jon is being chatted to by Tormund and the rest of the boys, where Tyrion is, with Jaime and Brienne and Podge, where everyone is chatting and having a good time, and she's isolated and left on her own, and there's just Varys in the back looking at her. Yeah. That's all. She's got nobody left.
But that's only because she's just sitting there. And only because they start playing, the music changes, they had zooming in on her face, and then there's Varys looking like this.
Sometimes,
then,
though.
it's she's the Mad Queen. Well, that's Cersei Lannister, who blew up a sept and killed millions of people, and the Queen.
There could be more than one Mad Queen.
No, I know no one's defending Cersei or thinking that she's legitimate, but...
Cersei saved the episode. Well, I don't want to say saved the episode, because I thought the episode was actually excellent. There was no save. The highlight of it was Cersei Lannister or else Varys, up for debate. But on Daenerys... I don't know, I thought the scene with her and Jon where she is quite selfish in the fact that, no, you can't tell anybody about this...
she knows what it
was. The fact
mean.
you're related to me, the fact of who you really are.
Blame her. All of her advisors, Tyrion, he's been totally inept, completely bad advice the whole way through since season 7, all right? Even you can say season 6. But, and then there's Varys, they're supposed to be her advisor, and then they're screaming against her.
But
she's surrounded by
Varys has done that throughout the whole thing. Hold on a second now, right? You've come in here, Andy, you've walked in the studio, you've landed a couple of knockout punches early on.
Right.
You last week sat here and said it was a brilliant episode.
I did, I said it just a couple of moments ago as well. Yeah, I just said it.
You love that shock. You love the shock, don't you? You love the big deaths.
Yeah.
If you're flying a dragon up high, if you're in a helicopter, you can see the whole thing. How are you going to hide a fleet of ships behind a mountain?
We were in Dragonstone.
And how are you going to... Yeah, I know.
Yeah, where did it hide? Like,
how are you going to shoot a moving target on a ship that's obviously rocking on the waves, ballistas, and hit him 3 times while he's moving in the air?
I accept that scene was a little bit.
hold on a second.
Like,
weird.
the biggest gripe, and one of the gripes I have about this whole episode is that when you realise, you look back and you see that the White Walker threat, built up over 8 seasons, was only used as a plot device to weaken Daenerys' army. Well, that's the only reason that they were there.
Oh, okay.
To make it even out, to even them out.
Well, I was here last week saying that the Battle of Winterfell, because of the ending, wasn't as good as people made it out. Now, it was brilliant, it looked spectacular if you could see it, and all that sort of thing.
Like, you had a lot...
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm giving you that one.
But I really think that one of the positives from that was that you get rid of the undead, and suddenly you're kind of back more in the throes of reality once again, which in Westeros is politics, it's backstabbing, it's people changing their character arcs, which has happened to all these people. And I do accept your point. The dragon scene was shite. It was shite. Let's call a spade here. That
It was a
twist-
shock. It was just done to shock you. Because nobody expected Rhaegar to go down like that.
But it doesn't matter if it shocks you if it's plausible. Do you know?
But we're talking about dragons here, like.
Well, good point. The fact that there's a dragon flying in the sky in the first place is probably implausible. But good point. I just think that, other than that, I think it got back to its roots.
See, the thing what was, I know, like, the thing what was great about the shocks in previous seasons that it was hidden, it was subversive, that, like, no one saw the Red Wedding coming. But it was, if you look back, once it happens and you look back, you see the seeds of him sowed. Like Robb made an agreement to marry Walder Frey's daughter, then he reneges on that, and they think they're about to have this big battle, and that's what you're gearing up for against the Lannisters, and they're just having this bit of interlude, and all of a sudden they're wiped out.
That has an impact on you, that scene.
Yeah, like a dragon flying and then, boom, hitting, and then like I watched the inside the episode, which is like a HBO feature, and like the writer David Benioff, he just says, "Oh, Daenerys kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet." That's how he explained it. That's an actual quote from him. Like 3 times now, the Iron Fleet have wiped out all her ships. This is the 3rd time. Like, how is she forgetting about it?
It was a poor strategy again. It wasn't on the level of...
It wasn't even... It's not that. It's just bad writing.
It was naivety.
It's like, and that's what, like, these are not natural moves by these characters that have been built over the years, you know.
But is it the move of a mad queen?
No, this is the move of 2 guys trying to finish up a show. And I have some sympathy with them because they don't have the source material to go off, and they're just going to have to wind up these stories, and not everyone's going to be like, it's been rushed, and like it should have been 10 episodes season 7, and these things could have been planted, you know, and then it comes out and then you see it, but which was always make Game of Thrones great.
There's definitely an element of what you're saying there that perhaps it might be bad writing, but I also think that it's very plausible that Daenerys is just not good in battle. That where does she learn to be a leader and to make these strategic decisions?
She's conquered the whole of Essex.
But she always had people...
Marine, Astapor.
But she always had people mentoring her. Like, she didn't just do that herself. Daenerys walked into the fire and emerged 3 dragons.
Yes.
And then she became, the next best thing since whatever, like. But, like, where has Daenerys learned how to do these things? I think it's very plausible that she could just slip up like that twice and lose 2 dragons. I don't know if that's just down to bad writing. I think there's an element here that,
First of all, we all know, you have to admit, going north of the wall was a stupid idea.
Yes. Like, she's...
Just to bring back a white, to convince Cersei Lannister.
She's like Barcelona on Tuesday night. She bottled a stupid lead. She had bottled such a huge lead. Like, there was no way anybody should have even got a look in when you're 3-0 up on the Dragons count.
And the sympathy I had for it, this is the advice she's been given. Attacking is no, we won't do that, you'll kill thousands of people, blah, blah. And that's fair enough. Or let's go out and get Cersei now and kill her. No, treat with her. They have Missandei, let's just wipe her out. They have Missandei, you know what I mean? They have my best friend.
She's truly on her own. That's where she is now.
Yeah, she's isolated, completely isolated. Like, the only person she listened to was Jorah. That was just, like, in episode 3, he counsels, like, to kind of make peace with Sansa, and also, what was the other thing he said to her? Back Tyrion. And she did those things. She did those things because he told her, and then he's gone. And Missandei, she was probably the only one who didn't have any motivation to be a companion of Daenerys. Because, like, Jorah, he fell in love with her. So, like, Barristan Selmy, he wanted to serve her. All of these guys, they had some sort of,
Yeah, Daenerys freed her and she was...
some motive. Yeah. But Missandei, now she's gone, and like I can't blame her. If she wants to burn them all, burn them all. You know, like Cersei Lannister has blown up blown up a sept, murdered millions of people, and killed the Queen. You know, Marjorie Tyrell.
Yeah, killed her own son.
Well, inadvertently, yeah.
Inadvertently.
And this is like, it's a brutal world. Like, I don't know, like the House Lannister, like the Reigns of Castamere, the song that's always played on the show. The Reigns of the Reigns were a family, a house who lived in Castamere. They retreated they were under siege, and they all retreated to their crypts, they thought they'd be safe down in the crypt. And the Lannisters flooded them out, wiped the whole family out, and that's celebrated with a song called "The Reigns of Castamere." This is a brutal world, and like. These things happen. They just have to, I don't know.
So you're saying that Daenerys actually isn't.
I'm back in Daenerys now.
You're back.
I think she's been too humane. Yeah.
Yeah, she's too humane.
Yeah. I think she's been more of a character to be pitied than to be feared in the last couple of seasons.
What about the scene with the Tarleys?
They were in open rebellion to her after a battle. They're at war with the Lannisters.
But it's not exactly a humane thing to do.
No, but this is war. They were asked to bend the knee. To give up.
No,
My point is that I think that she's been brutal at times. Maybe she needs to be more brutal. I don't think that this is kind of a whole leap that we now need to experience from Daenerys. I think that she's had that capability already. Like, we've kind of referred to her as a potential Mad Queen for a few seasons now at this point, because
that's the way they're setting her up. That's the way they're setting her up.
Do you think she should just follow her instinct?
I think so, yeah. Trust the gut.
What happens next?
Dracarys.
Huh?
What happens next?
Dracarys.
I think she's going to burn a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going down.
Who is going to avoid getting burnt?
John's
it's an easier question than who is going to get burnt.
Is Dany emerging from it?
I don't think Daenerys is going to survive.
No.
Do you think she's going to survive next episode?
I've read a few leaks and things like that, so I don't want to say too much.
Okay.
Right.
But there are going to be a lot of people getting burned. I think. So, yeah. So we'll see. Like, it's a bit like I just had to get that off my chest because.
Give us a rating out of 10. The last
8 out of 10. You know what the rating is on IMDb?
Oh no! Don't tell me this.
6.5.
That's very poor for Game of Thrones. Average of 9.8, isn't it?
That's where I think it.
Really?
That's where I think it stands.
And you think it's a 6.5?
Yeah, I think it's a 6.5.
Before you heard Andy, where did you say it? Before you heard anybody, where did you think it was?
It was my favourite episode of the season so far. I would have given it an 8.5.
Yeah, and I know why you picked it like that.
Yeah,
I know why you did.
It's getting on now. You're thinking it's coming to the end. You know what I mean? It's not.
But have you watched the back? You haven't watched the back, the whole thing.
Only bits and pieces. No,
bits and pieces. Because it really was there was throwback scenes within it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all those callbacks. There was a lot of season 1 references. A lot of season 1 references in there.
I felt nostalgic.
It did. Like, I don't know. What do you think about Jaime heading back to Cersei?
Jaime is going to kill Cersei.
Do you think?
Yes.
He's going to finish her. He's not going to join her. He's going
to kill her, yeah. I'm highly confident of that.
Do you think he'll be the one to finish off Cersei?
Yes.
Do you think that it's going okay?
Positive.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's a good chance. There's a good chance. I think they could die in each other's arms.
Right.
I don't know.
And
I think it's more complicated than that. I don't know.
How do you die in each other's arms? Do they get burnt alive together? Do they?
I know how.
Tyrion kills them both. Bronn
gets promised something.
That was a mad scene, wasn't it? Bronn just wants it in like, hey, Conor McGregor style.
Where's he off to now? I don't know.
He's just going to sit around. But he is a great actor, that guy.
He's absolutely brilliant.
He's class, touch of class.
I love that scene as well. As I said, I love the Varys and Tyrion scenes. I don't know, I just think people are being really, really harsh on this episode as a standalone thing. Fair enough if there's this overarching belief that...
It's just all the plot holes and the idiocy of the characters. It's just not in their characteristics, you know. There's so many other things, like, you know, so many little things. Like, first of all, they're burning all the bodies outside of Winterfell with fully armoured. Like, that's valuable armour for a battle. Like, where's Heartsbane now? Where's the sword? I don't know if Samwell Tarly retrieved it. There's been no mention of it. It's a Valyrian steel sword. I don't know.
You're really disappointed with this.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, I was really.
I didn't notice the armour thing.
Yeah, I was really shocked.
I'm kind of happy that we let you cooking for a couple of days because there's steam coming off you right now.
Like
you're wound.
Like Arya in the when Jon reveals his heritage to the Starks.
But he didn't really. He didn't. He said to Bran, you tell them.
Yeah, you tell them.
And we got, as Sue said last week, like that was taken away from us.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see that moment.
It was off screen.
I wanted to see what happened.
So Arya's like, we have to stay together. We're the last of the Starks. And the next thing, she's leaving, going down the road. We're not staying.
Where's she off to?
She could be there. I don't know. She could be going down to kill Cersei. Like the whole of this thing, we've seen what Arya can do. She's obviously unbelievable. They know she's a faceless man. They know that. Look, let's just wait it out. Let's just give Arya a couple of weeks down in King's Landing. Let her do the job.
Good luck.
And we'll make a deal then after. You can have an independent North. We'll rule the South.
Do you think the show is better or worse off since the Night King is dead?
I love the Night King.
I think it could have been. I think they could have done it in the reverse. Dealt with Cersei first. I think they could have delayed the threat of the Night King in season 6. Delayed the threat. Let him come only in this season. And in the meantime, dealing with Cersei and getting this out of the way. Because who cares anymore? Like, we know they're going to get killed at some stage. And Euron, he's a cartoon character, isn't he? He's not like the big cheesy grin on his face and like, let's go back to the scene where he hits 3 dragons. No, he hits 3 shots at Rhaegar, moving target, on a ship. And then Daenerys is bearing down on him, straight at him.
He's laughing.
And there must be how many arrows? 25 arrows? Hit, and not one of them land.
Yeah.
And then she veers away. Why didn't she just do a U-turn and burn him from behind?
My problem with Euron Greyjoy is that you just don't care. Like, he's not having that much of an impact on you. Someone like Ramsay Bolton got under your skin. And
Surely.
He was like, not again. And then when Ramsay Bolton got eaten alive by his hounds, it did something inside you. You just went, good.
Yeah,
delighted.
Yeah.
Like, it actually, the show got underneath your skin and twisted you. With Euron Greyjoy, was just like, what a lunatic.
That's the other thing about the last episode. That's what they tried to do with the beheading of Miss Andy.
I didn't feel
get under your
It
skin.
was sickening though. It was
exactly.
sickening.
And that's the whole point of the show.
But the whole thing is
I didn't feel anything.
Let's talk about that scene.
No.
Bronn, I'll give you 2 castles, take this crossbow and go down and kill my brother. And either of them. And there's Tyrion standing in front of a lot of crossbows. And no shot. She could have ended the war then. Daenerys. Drogon sitting up in the back. Like, they didn't look like they were out of range compared to how high that dragon was flying.
When Tyrion's talking to Cersei, and there's the moment, obviously we all know that Missandei gets beheaded, and there's a moment there where Cersei wells up, and we don't know what's going to happen next. Is she going to kill Tyrion? Is she going to relinquish control of King's Landing that she has, or is she going to go and do what she did? Was there a moment where you thought, he's getting through to her here?
Yeah. Like, it's hard to know. It's hard. Like, obviously, it's you're left to paint your own picture, isn't it, with the reaction? But then also he informs Euron that she's been pregnant for a long time. You know, how does he know about the pregnancy? Surely Euron realised now this is not my child. How does he know about it? They haven't spoken in a whole season. Like, and he reveals that.
Yeah, it's very true.
So
very true.
Surely Euron's thinking, oh, how does he know? You know, so. Look, I don't know.
Maybe he is thinking that.
This show's going to have to have a big comeback now in the last 2 episodes to make all this work. You're going to have to make it.
You're really down.
There's going to have to be a lot of big flashbacks to tie it all together. Like, we're not getting enough of that. Like, you know, we use time like with all those characters and Bran talking about his wheelchair and things. We could have had a lot more information about the Night King, the White Walkers, or the state of the continent now. You know. Like, who rules the Stormlands now? Surely they know. When Daenerys is legitimising Gendry, she asks, "Who's the Lord of Storm's End?" Tyrion. Jaime should know. Jaime's a battle commander. Tyrion should know. Varys should know.
Who's there?
Like, who's the Lord of it? Like, nobody knows in the whole room.
Yeah.
This is just stupid. And then they call him Gendry Rivers. He's not Gendry Rivers. He's Gendry Waters or Gendry Storm because that's the name of it. Anyway, he didn't, up to that point, he didn't even know he was the bastard of a lord. So he'd just be called Gendry. Like, that's something you can easily Google in 5 minutes to find out what's the name of a bastard born in King's Landing. He'd be like,
so you're saying that the writers don't even know their own show?
I don't know. It just seems lazy. Is
there any way back?
It has to come back. It has to be some big comeback. But now I just think it's shock value, it's fan service, and they're just trying to wrap it up. They're like, see, up to this point, there was just characters living in this world and plotting against each other with the threat of the White Walkers. Now they know the ending. They probably, after season 5 or 6, they probably thought this is going to be the ending that we're going to do once they realised the books weren't coming. And now they're working back. So everything that's happening is just to get to that ending. They're working back. How do we get to this? Like, how do we weaken Daenerys? How do we reveal Jon's lineage. What does that cause between Daenerys and Jon if they're in love? You know. So like,
I was chatting to a friend of mine who reckons that George R. R. Martin has the next book finished. He just doesn't want to release it in case the television show take it and mess it up.
yeah.
Really?
That
He's waiting for that to be totally done before.
he's testing the waters with the TV show. No, this is not going to play. You know.
So you think that this could be his story that we're watching?
They've said that they've spoke about the ending, so maybe he will change it now because there's still another book after this book to come. But
He definitely will.
I think we're going to accept the fact that they're both parallel things now. They're not going to be the same. I think it's not only has it gone ahead of the books, it's actually gone in a totally different direction to the books. And the books might actually give us the satisfying end that you feel that we're not going to get.
no, we might get a satisfying end. I
yeah.
don't know, but it just after this episode, like unless there's a big comeback, you know, from Daenerys in this next episode, it's going to be
So
hard. Like
Andy Lee is not going to be sitting back in the off the ball studio talking off the wall, and he's not going to be happy.
will I resign from the
unless-
show right now?
You're not going to be happy unless Daenerys Targaryen is.
Throw your-
Donald Trump.
throw your-
There's a lot more other things I could be doing with my time.
this man a pen.
I got better things to be doing with my time.
This season,
Yeah.
obviously, this is as down as I've ever heard you about Game of Thrones. Is this the worst season so far, Game of Thrones?
Yeah, season 7 was pretty bad. This is not. I don't know. We've had some big spectacular like things. We've had a lot of fan service reunions, things that we've wanted to see for a long time. Well, to be judged in the end because
2 weeks on is the Battle of Winterfell. Are you disappointed with the Battle of Winterfell?
Some of the tactics were just stupid. Sending the Dothraki off first, like putting your army outside the trenches, not even just stay inside the castle. Just stay inside the castle and defend the castle.
The IMDb ratings so far: Episode 1, 8.3; Episode 2, 8.6; Episode 3, 8.3; and then, as you say, 6.5 for Episode 4. It's a big nosedive, and I mean, even the Long Night isn't deemed to be the best episode there either. Like, it was something that we were all kind of a bit on edge with afterwards. Sue was obviously blown away by that particular episode, but clearly the people are speaking here, and the average, let's face it, 8.3, 8.5 is a good score, but 9.5 is the average.
Like if you're looking up a regular movie and you see 6.5, you're not going to watch it.
No.
I have a habit of watching movies like that, I'll be honest. Try and prove them wrong.
Find a
Some independent thinking.
yeah. Like I don't know. This in an interview previous to the show, the showrunners and writers were asked where they're going to watch, where will they be during the final. They said somewhere hidden with our wives with our phones off and a long way from the internet.
Right, okay.
So I wonder why.
But is there any way they can make everyone happy?
No, they can't. They can't make it
But
happen.
maybe that's what the problem is. They're trying to make people happy.
That's it. You see, yeah.
You think?
they're just not. I don't know.
I haven't heard many people being happy.
Well, I was smiling from ear to ear when we got Cersei back in full demon mode at the weekend.
Demon, that's a good word.
I was like, she's my main demon right there.
Yeah, it's like something from Supernatural.
We'll see what's going to happen now. Like obviously, you were seeing from the little preview that there's something going to happen. Like Daenerys looking forlorn, Tyrion's approaching her. Maybe she won't be counselled by him anymore. And then Euron's involved. I think could be the end of Euron next episode.
Grey Worm's still going.
Grey Worm, he's coming back with revenge. I think he's going to have a lot of hate. You can see that look in his face when
Well, he's got nothing left.
Yeah. Like, we all thought it was going to be him.
Yeah. Poor Grey Worm.
See, they are skewing some things.
They are.
Or
Yeah.
subverting some things.
They are, yeah.
Whatever way you want to look at it. Do you have any positive things to say? You don't have to say anything positive about it. We're not here to celebrate. We're here to critically analyse.
What is the things that I like? No.
Fair enough.
No.
Can we title
Seen-
this episode Andy Lee mourns the death of Game of Thrones?
Yes, we can. Yes, we absolutely can. Well, thank you for joining us on a very
king is dead, long live the king.
On an upbeat show.
He'll be back, hopefully. I'm optimistic.
We'll be back Monday morning.
We'll be back Monday.
Andy Lee will be excited.
We need to actually update our board here, Andy. So there are some bells and whistles and happy things to talk about today. We are updating the board because we never did it on Monday.
Ron's somewhere in the north.
Yeah.
We saw that. He's somewhere up here. He's just going to hang out around here until everything blows over. So I don't know. Let's put him over. Let's put him at the Twins, somewhere in the middle, so he can go between. Daenerys now is in Dragonstone,
Okay.
which is here. Tyrion and Varys should be there. Where's Tyrion? Grey Worm's with her.
Oh.
There goes Grey Worm. The Hound is making his way down, so he should be maybe around here now. John is on his way down. He left after the Hound.
Arya's with the Hound.
Arya's with the Hound. Breen is back in Winterfell, heartbroken. Sansa's in Winterfell. Bran is in Winterfell. And Jaime's following them down. Sam and Gilly are still in Winterfell. So, that's it.
Just before we wrap up, let's talk about those two romances that we were seeing up in the north. One obviously is over, the heartbroken Brienne, and then we have Gendry and Arya. Are those two relationships dead?
Yeah. Are they?
Well, like,
God, it's really. I was hoping for some sort of positive, heartwarming Andy Lee takes.
what did you make of the Brienne and Jaime moment?
I don't know. It was a bit. Don't know. It was kind of. It was like they were. I guess they were. I don't know if there was ever a romantic thing between them, but it seems like now.
More of a respect kind of a thing.
Yeah. Like I don't know if I got that. I think Brienne was in love with him, but unable to verbalize it or express it. But I'm not sure if it was
She
ever.
certainly expressed it now.
Yeah, like it was brutal, wasn't it? Jaime was a savage.
Yeah, I didn't expect that reaction all the same, though. I expected a compartmentalisation or kind of a suppressing of her feelings, because that seemed to be kind of how she's behaved in the past.
Yeah, she showed a vulnerability, and that's basically what she is. That's why she is who she is. Always wanting to prove herself, show that she's equal, and that's how she's become this so honourable, righteous, not self-righteous, but righteous knight.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be the end for Arya and Gendry. I don't think it has to be the end. I just don't think it matters.
I don't.
It
Yeah, but I just
doesn't
don't
matter.
see her being in a relationship with anybody. She's not fully human anymore. She's going affected too much. Like it'd be a tough one to be in it for Gendry. Like Gendry's just like a simple,
Awesome.
he's just like a. He's not simple, but he's had a tough life himself.
Oh.
But he's pretty like well grounded, isn't he?
He's a good country lad.
But he's got himself a castle now.
He's got himself a castle. He's coming up. Yeah.
He just needs to find himself a wife, and then the Gendry arc is
Didn't he?
complete.
Yeah.
Didn't what?
I was going to say, didn't he head away with two guys? That was Podrick.
That was
Podrick, yeah. Get mixed up with them.
Yeah.
Andy, thanks a million for flying home and sharing with us your honest
all the way
thoughts.
from
We're back
Sicily.
Monday.
We're back Monday with a fresh hot take.
Look, I think there's always a chance of redemption.
Of course there is. This show has been my life. Outside of everything.
Kind of has.
No, so
It's been your escape. Your
it has been
escapism.
my escape. Yeah. So now, come on.
Maybe their latest project in terms of giving us a weird graph is actually the show itself, and they want to take us through highs and lows of actually quality television. But actually, I disagree, remember? I actually think it was a very, very good episode. I'm sticking by that. This has been Off the Wall.
I'm convinced, yeah.
It's Off the Wall, Game of Thrones podcast, brought to you thanks to Discover Northern Ireland with their Game of Thrones territory, boasting over 25 locations and experiences for the ultimate fan. For more, log on to discovernorthernireland.com. We'll chat to you next week here on Off the Wall. Bye-bye for now.